Keep on rolling, baby. Well, it's not time for Danny Rohl. He rolled out of this race last night. Steven Gerrard suddenly reappeared, and Kevin Muscat is taking the lead by a long shot. Welcome back to Fog Football. I'm honestly sick to death looking at odds checker for the next Rangers manager. I want this saga to be over, but if we're being brutally honest, it's the only thing that's actually kept Scottish football relevant the past 11 days, isn't it?
Steve Clarke's not done a good job of it.
No,
he's kept us on course to qualify, but we're also on course to hit an iceberg and hit fucking bottom of the ocean, because you can only get away with bad performances like that. You cannot keep putting in stinkers and getting 3 points. And I tell you what, our luck will run out when we go to Greece and when we play Denmark. Anyway, enough about Scotland and Steve Clarke.
Is Steve Clarke in with a shout here?
No.
Not happening?
I think a few years ago you'd have been happy to take Steve Clarke at Ibrox.
Not anymore.
I think those days are well gone, no.
Right, fair enough, but...
I mean, maybe arguably you could make a case he actually plays worse football than Russell Martin.
Yeah, well, no, I would agree with that. Actually, no, I would disagree with that, because his football may be pish, but at least he actually gets results. That guy, who I'm not going to utter the words of again, did not get results. Right, is this a one-horse race? Is it a 2? Is it a 3? Steven Gerrard reappearing just reminds me when you're watching a horse race and the jockey falls off at like the first hurdle, and then by like hurdle 20, there's just this horse with no jockey running alongside the horses that are still going. He's somehow still here. What do you make of that, Steven Gerrard's return? Because he went up to like 100 to 1, down to like 16 to 1 to evens, and now most places, I mean, he's 7 to 2 with Bet365, 5 to 2 with Willie Hill, 6 to 4 with Ladbrokes and BetMGM, 6 to 4 with Coral, 13 to 8 with Sky Bet and Paddy Par, and 49 to 10 with Betfair. So he's by far and away second favourite. Numero uno is Kevin Muscat. Now, I said a couple of days ago that I wanted Gerrard, but Muscat was my second choice. Now, you're a Jambo bear, so looking from the outside in, who's the better choice for Rangers? Is there pros to both? Is there cons to both?
Gerrard might be the better choice because Muscat's the unknown, but then again, Muscat could be the better choice, you just don't know it yet.
I think it's a bit hypocritical though, because it's like...
I think they're both good options. I think if you're a Rangers fan, you'd probably be content with both, because obviously Gerrard's got the history, the stopping 10 in a row, and I think Muscat's also got... I mean, you talk about wanting to have a manager that's won things. Oh, Muscat's probably the guy that's won the most amount of things. In terms of who's in contention, who's the real contenders for this job, Muscat is probably the guy with the best CV. You could argue that he's won stuff at a lower level, but he's still got that winning mentality. Plus, he's played at Rangers before, so I think Kevin Muscat and Gerrard are two good options. I think Rangers fans will be grateful it's not Danny Rohl. I think they'll just be glad that.
Yeah, so let's talk about Danny Rohl.
Equation.
He rolled himself out. People are calling this pathetic, and it shows how bad Rangers are at the moment. I mean, I'm not going to stick up for the likes of Tellwell or Patrick Stewart, but couldn't this just be a simple case of Danny Rohl seeing where this was going, and he just wanted to claim he was pulling out when the reality is he was not anywhere near getting the job? Because it clearly looks like they wanted... Well, I mean, they wanted Gerrard. Let's not make any mistake about it. Danny Rohl appeared to be a B-plus player this entire time, didn't he? It looked like he was second fiddle to Gerrard, but then once Gerrard fell at the race, Muscat became favourite and Danny Rohl stayed second best, and he's probably went, you know what, I'm not getting this job. See, to save myself some embarrassment, I'm going to make it look like I chose not to go to Rangers rather than they didn't want me. I think that's what it is. I don't think it's a simple case of the timing ain't right. The guy was never... I mean, yeah, when Gerrard rejected it, he did show up to favourite, but that's just natural for the guys in second place to show up to favourite. I don't think Danny Rohl was ever truly favourite for this job. I feel like he was just simply there because he's unemployed, and I don't know.
That could be it.
I don't understand it, to be honest, why people are making a big deal out of that. But he's 25 to 1 with Bet365 and Willie Hill. Again, I wouldn't completely write him out because Gerrard looked like he was down and out and he suddenly came back in. Now, there is another name, as you can see on your screen right now, that is hovering about like a fly on shite. Ole Gunnar Solskjær. So, he's 9 to 1, 10 to 1, 12 to 1, 6 to 1, 12 to 1, 10 to 1, 10 to 1. What do you make of Ole? Would he be a good appointment?
Don't think he'd be the worst.
Wouldn't be the best though.
No.
Yeah, not the thing is.
I mean,
right?
Solskjær will be remembered for failing at Man United, but a lot of good managers have failed at Man United.
Yeah.
I'd argue that Rangers would probably take every manager that's been at United. Well, I say that, I think they 100% would. I think Rangers right now would take every manager that's been at United since Fergie, probably except... he'd be the one man they probably wouldn't want.
It's funny though because
when in reality, it's like, I mean, he's much better results than Amarin.
I mean, Davy Moyes is probably considered the worst because it was straight after Fergie. I know Ruben Almiron's down at the bottom, but I don't think anyone's considering Ruben Almiron worse than Davy Moyes.
Normally, you could say, well, Moyes had the benefit of taking over a title-winning team, but and he had the team that was, less Ferganised or whatever you want to call it, but I would also argue that David Moyes spent no money. Plus, Fergie won that league with a shite team. Let's be honest. Yeah, he won the league by 18 points, but that wasn't an abysmal team that Fergie won the league with. I don't know how he fucking done it. I think it was just Robin van Persie.
Yeah, hitting goals for everywhere, banging them in.
Pretty much just, but you look at that team. It wasn't good. And I think the only
an aging team as well.
The only player that Moyes added to it was Fellaini. And that didn't really help him. But yeah, no, I mean, Moyes looked bad at the time because he was the first man to take over for Fergie, therefore he was the first man to fail. But we've seen that since Moyes. There's been, some of the managers have had better win percentage, but not by much.
Yeah, but...
I mean, the best manager, statistically, since Fergie at United has been Mourinho. I mean, he won a few trophies. He had the best win percentage, but...
Yeah, and I think Ollie didn't win a trophy.
No.
So... To me, it's going to be Muscat. Gerrard just coming back... But see, I honestly, man, let's say something does happen to Tellwell in the next couple of days and Patrick Stewart. It still makes Gerrard look a bit shite, doesn't it?
In what way?
Well, because he still, on paper, he still rejected Rangers. Regardless of why he did it, he still rejected them. And he rejected them back in the summer. I mean, how many times are we going to go back to this well? People say, we've already asked Derek McInnes once, we're not going to ask him again. Well, how many fucking times are we going to ask Gerrard? You've got some other names on this list, we'll just quickly go over them. Roger Schmidt, James Morrison, 33-1. Thoughts on that?
No, bogging.
I mean, I couldn't even tell you what he's doing. He just screams 75 rated non-gold card on FIFA for about 12 years ago.
Yeah.
Shite, and then we got Brian Frisk. Anyway, guys, we'll be back sooner rather than later with more content, but Kevin Muscat...
Look like Kevin Muscat's the man. I think that'd be a good appointment. No, I don't get though. I think that now people are less... I think the previous times when Muscat's been linked to the job, there's been more enthusiasm around them.
Yeah.
It seems to be now Rangers fans don't...
I think it's just...
Could it just be because they just want like a guarantee and they think that Gerrard's the one that's going to come in and...
you know what, man? I would actually say the last couple of days have been relatively positive. I don't know why, because even Gerrard rejected the job. Did we think we'd be sitting 5 days later with Muscat and Gerrard battling for the job? No. Because it looked like Gerrard rejected it and it looked like Muscat was never in it.
Yeah, when Gerrard rejected it, you're thinking, holy shit, it looked bleak. You're thinking Rangers are getting... Rangers are getting a dud in here, but now it looks like it's a 50-50 toss-up. Albeit Muscat looks a lot more favourite than Gerrard, but I think at this point Rangers are getting... I think they're getting someone better than they probably would have anticipated like 4 days ago.
Absolutely. But anyway, guys, later on tonight, Falkirk Career... SPFL preview show, it's back. Glasgow versus Dundee. Your wee team takes on Kelly. A lot to look forward to. Till next time. Peace.